Hey, friend. Welcome to the Kingdom Revolution podcast. If you are here in this episode, this is the audio recording of the Called to Business event that is taking place in the Facebook community. However, I understand that not everyone wants to be on social media, and I honor that and I respect that because I love teaching how we can build an online business by God's design, not being a slave to social media. So these are the recordings and the replays of the Called to Business event. If you are tuning in and you have not registered for the Called to Business event, you can find the link in the show notes. The first couple episodes are bonus episodes welcoming you, letting you know what is taking place. There is one on what does it even mean to be called to the online business world? What does it mean to be called by our Heavenly Father to online business? And then the rest of them will be dropped in between the Stand Firm audio series, putting on the full armor of God. So you can come back here to the Kingdom Revolution podcast and get the audio replays of the Called to Business event and listen when you are driving or on your way to work or doing laundry or whatever that is that you are doing where you want to tune in and listen to these 2 week of live coaching calls. All right. They're taking place in the Online Business by God's Design Facebook community, and you are getting massive value these next 2 weeks. We start on March 18th. So if you're listening to this replay and it's after March 18th, you can still register and get in and actually join the community, join in on the $2,500 giveaway and everything else that is taking place inside the Facebook community by registering at the link in the show notes. All right. Be blessed. Have an amazing day. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you had a great Palm Sunday, and welcome to Holy Week. What an amazing week it is just to bask in the presence of our Heavenly Father and just thank Jesus for what He's done. Yes and amen. I just kind of yesterday sat and reflected on that, what Palm Sunday, would have been like, Jesus entering the streets of Jerusalem and the palm branches. A few years ago, we were able to take my 2-step kiddos and then my niece and nephew to Passion of the Christ. A few hours south of us. I'm from Michigan, in case you didn't know, but a few hours south of us, and they reenacted the Passion of the Christ movie, parts of it and things like that. And there was a part where you could walk through the town and what it would have felt like. And it just, absolutely amazing. But I'm getting choked up, heart wrenching in a sense too, to see the Last Supper, because they reenacted the Last Supper and then him on the cross. I mean, what an amazing thing, Jesus did for us. And just wanted to acknowledge that when I was putting this together, I made a mistake and didn't really research when Easter was, because normally it's in April, right? But it's okay. No worries. We'll take it in stride, and it is what it is. I just want to say thank you once again for being here. We have another week of amazing things taking place, and I am streaming in here today because I'm going to switch up today and tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to be on Zoom instead, like the email said, just a reminder. So tomorrow live on Zoom, because I figured tomorrow, after I go through the launch runway framework, that one's going to be a little bit shorter. There might be more questions about that and how I teach after you extract who God created you to be, what He's created you to do, and we put your beta founding member program together and we know the bits and pieces, then we start the lead generation, which we'll talk a little bit about today. But I like to do that through utilizing other people's audiences because it's quicker, and you get more income in your pocket, like boom, instead of growing your email list with slow growth strategies. Okay. So I figured there'd be more questions on that. So we'll be on Zoom tomorrow so I can answer your questions for that. And as always, if you have a question and you can't attend and you're watching the replay, drop it in the Facebook community or email me. Drop it in the Facebook community though. I really like that because community is huge. Community is important. And plus, if you have the question, chances are someone else does too, or have something similar. All right, so I am going to share my screen and we're going to get into it today. All right, make sure everything gets set up properly and off we go. Welcome to, I think it's I can't remember anymore, day 6. Yes, day 6 of the Called to Business live event. So for those of you who are new, just joining us, welcome. You are not late. You are right on time. God's timing is perfect. Yes and amen. And all of the replays are in the guides section. You can go through and listen to them. You still have plenty of time. They will all be taken down on Saturday when the doors close of the Online Business by God's Design Roadmap as well, and the Call to Business program. Doors are closing, and the replays will get taken down. All right. So I'm Kristen Duranci. I am your host of the event. So welcome. And I am a ex 9-to-5er. I am a mama. I'm a wife. I'm a daughter of the King, most importantly. And I really love helping faith-filled women who know that they're called to business, clarify their calling, find their voice so that they can be in alignment with their assignment and what God is calling them to do through entrepreneurship on this side of heaven. You're here because you have this Holy Spirit prompting, this desire, and knowing that you're called to the online business space and getting clear on what God wants to do in you and through you so you can create that eternal movement here on this side of heaven and step into being a kingdom currency converter, making kingdom wealth, taking the wealth of this world and transmitting it, converting it into kingdom wealth so you can give more, so you can bless more. We're going to talk more about being a kingdom currency converter and what I feel that means, but more importantly, what does it mean to you more on, I think it's Thursday of this week. So I wholeheartedly believe that your business is your battlefield. It's where you get to show up, stand firm in your beliefs, stand firm for biblical truth, and fight the battle on this side of heaven that the Lord is wanting you to fight. So you can take the territory back that the enemy has stolen. Each and every single one of us has a burning desire to do something more, to pour into a nonprofit, create a nonprofit. Maybe we talked about this on Tuesday of last week, that holy fire of anger inside of you to see something changed on this side of heaven, right? Maybe you want more, not focus, but more truth brought to the world or to your community about sex trafficking or child abuse or something like that. And that's something that's really on your heart that you're like, gosh, I wish I could be in a place to give to this foundation or give to this mission field or do this type of thing. And that's what you can do through your online business and the kingdom wealth that you're creating. It's not just that you're going to help women lose weight or you help mamas learn how to homeschool. Or for me, I bring mamas home to restore the family unit the way God intended. And entrepreneurship is the vehicle that I get to do that and help them so they can make impact and income on this side of heaven that they're wanting to make. That's my overarching mission and movement that God wants to do in me and through me and raise up kingdom currency converters, right? Each and every single one of you has something like that. I want to see our political system reformed and the evil taken out of it and the lies and the corruption. And it takes money in order to do that, to put people in those places that will make those changes, right? So each and every single one of you has some type of a mission and a movement that's greater than why you do what you do, but it still can tie into what you do because it's creating a movement. And the people that, even though it's not your maybe inner burning desire to help mamas come home and restore the family unit so they can be the one raising their warriors for the kingdom. They can be the ones homeschooling their kids, instilling their beliefs in. Maybe you're like, yeah, that's so important, but maybe it doesn't get that fire inside of you burning like it does me, but maybe it's that bringing more awareness to sex trafficking that gets that fire burning inside of you, right? Each and every single one of us has something. That's why, we're just one piece of the puzzle, right? And God revealed to me, goodness, is it a year ago by now? I'm not quite sure, but he said, Kristen, you're just one piece of the puzzle, because I was like, gosh, so much needs to be changed in this world. And, I was just one of those days really getting frustrated with how the world was going. And he's just like, Kristen, you're just one piece of the puzzle. Drop that puzzle piece in the comment, find that puzzle emoji, drop that in puzzle emoji and drop it in the comments. If you're like, yeah, I'm a piece of the puzzle. I get to pick up my piece and put it in the puzzle and start doing something, right? We're just one piece of the puzzle, and every single woman that I help is just another piece of that puzzle. Each and every single one of us has a testimony, something that we've overcome. And we know that Revelation says that we overcome the enemy by the blood of the Lamb. Yes. Thank you, Jesus. And the word of our testimony. That's why it's so important to bring in who you are, your testimony, your movement, your mission into what you're doing with your online business, because it gets that person to say, yeah, I want her to help me. All right. Even though your mission and movement is different from what they want to do, they're still getting that fire and that passion inside of them lit. And they're like, yeah, I want to lock arms with someone like that that's creating that type of movement. All right. So just a quick reminder, homework giveaway, we'll be announcing that on Saturday. The giveaways, we'll be doing two of them, two separate ones now. Those that complete all of the tasks, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you have until 6 p.m. this Thursday to do that. Go live, introduce yourself. And I know that may be pushing yourself out of the comfort zone. That's okay. I want you to take action and push yourself outside of that comfort zone, because that's where breakthrough comes, right? And then if you attended the session last Wednesday, I have that information, because each and every one of you needed to register with that email address. And then today, we're going to be talking about that one asset. And after later today, I'll drop it into the Facebook group. I want you to think about, what is that one asset that you'll be creating? And you'll know here shortly what we're talking about. But I want you to think about the customer journey from where your ideal client is and where they want to be. What could be that first asset? We'll talk about it in a second, that they opt into, that gets them on your email list and gets them closer to taking action and getting help by you. So that'll be a task to drop into the group today. There'll be a post, so don't worry. You'll have that post. It'll be in the guide section. Everything's in the guide section. Replays everything if you need to go look there. And then the task 4 on, I can read it better over here, is post your 90-day goals. And I can't remember when we're talking about that. Sometime this week too. So no worries. You have plenty of time. Actually, I think that one's on Thursday. All right. So doors are open to the Online Business by God's Design roadmap. Those bonuses are no longer here, but that's okay, because you still have an amazing investment for founding members only who joined the April cohort, to have a step-by-step roadmap to create, grow, and launch your online business by God's design. The 3 phases will extract you by God's design, which is those foundations that are so important that we've kind of been talking about and weaving in throughout this past week. Creating your business by God's design, which is your offer, how you help someone, setting up your beta founding member program, getting a lead generation strategy in place, and then launching your beta founding member program. And that's when it takes us into launching by God's design. This is a 12-month group coaching program. You get lifetime access. There's no renewal fee. I'm not taking anything away. You're going to get lifetime access to each additional pieces of content that gets added in, plus any future bonus trainings or mentoring sessions with future students. So no losing access. I've been in a program like that, and it just put me in a mindset and an energy of I needed this now, because I had money going out and not coming in. And I don't want you to, and I knew that I was going to lose the program. Like, I got to get this done within the year. And I don't want you to feel that way. Because when you're that way, you come from a place of, can I move my head over here? Nope. I don't think I can do that. Sorry. You come from a place of just doing it in your own strength and not really relying on God's timing to get the foundations firm. So I don't want you to have to feel that you lose it and stressed. You get free updates. So any access to the content along the way, you get free updates. You get interaction with me on a weekly basis to go through mindset, heartset, business strategy. Sometimes there'll be coaching sessions in there or an additional training that will pop up or pop in there. But think of these as hot seat coaching sessions, your strategies that you maybe need to get clear on, or if you're stuck in some place, it's a way for us to get through that and work through that. And I love doing that in a group setting because in group settings and group coaching, I get so much value just sitting there listening sometime to the coaches talk. And I still listen to replays because that's where I have got so much knowledge with copy, so much knowledge on how to tweak copy and what's needed. That leads me into one of the next couple parts is that you get lifetime review of assets that you create to make sure that they convert. So think of like your lead magnets, launch assets, copy of landing pages. We need those converting. And in the beginning, you don't really know the structure of a sales page or what your lead magnet should look like, or even what it should say, speaking to the pain points and their desires, and then really telling a story. So you have lifetime asset reviews as well. And then you get a private community, which is off social media, which will give you daily support. And then if you can't attend those live coaching sessions, you'll always have an opportunity to submit your question or submit your assets to be reviewed at the end, or I'll do a separate recording and send it to you. You also get lifetime. You get access to my email list on a monthly basis. So when you have a lead magnet, you can submit it to be emailed out to my ever-growing and high engaged email list from my cohort of students. That will allow you to either choose a lead magnet to get out there to build your email list, or allow you to say, hey, I have this collaboration strategy. I'm looking for people to collaborate with. Are you interested? And they can contact you. So it's just a great way where we're leveraging other people's audiences as well, but I'm allowing you to have access to mine on a monthly basis. So one time a month, I send that out. And then you get the 48-hour bonus of lifetime access to the visibility or lifetime or a year. I can't remember. No, it was only a year. Lifetime access was the Summits with Impact program. Now you get a 40% discount if you want to join Summits with Impact and you're like, yeah, I eventually want to do that. So whenever you decide that you want to join, you get a discount on that. And then you get 6 months free inside the Visibility for Impact Club. And then after that, it's only $7 a month right now. So those still exist, except the a year for free for the Visibility for Impact, and then Summits with Impact lifetime program, you get a 40% discount now. But you still get lifetime access to that once you purchase it. All right. And then in the Facebook group, in the guide section, and then depending on if you just joined us, you may not have that email, but I did email out a behind the scenes video of what those two programs, the Visibility for Impact Club and Summits with Impact Club, looked like and what they were. However, if you have questions, please let me know. Post it here in the comments. I'll go back and review the questions, or just shoot me a message. All right. So those are the Visibility for Impact and then the Summits with Impact program. And then we still do have the Pay in Full bonus, which we'll talk about in a second. But the April cohort will start the week of April 8th. The portal will open and it'll have a few lessons and modules and the orientation form and stuff to fill out and complete. And then the mentoring sessions with me live will start the week of the 15th. And then we'll also bring in periodic expert guest training throughout the year to help grow the library in there. But I'm not an expert with everything, especially with, like, say, for example, you want to utilize podcast guesting to grow your email list. Well, I don't do podcast guesting. I don't pitch for podcasts. So I'm not an expert in that. So we bring that in for you. So just an example. And then as always, if you're like, oh, I would like to learn this or how to do this, I'll definitely take that in consideration. And if it's part of what we should include in the Online Business by God's Design Roadmap Group coaching program, then by all means, we'll look for someone to come in and talk about it as well. So all of this is valued over, $5,000, and the value you're going to get is going to be absolutely amazing. But there's a special founding member investment only for this cohort, because you're helping me create it as we go. So you get my full attention, my full, I will be seeking your feedback and everything to make it better for future students as well. But you get a special founding member investment of only $777 with some amazing payment options as well. And then, like I said, that paid in full bonus is still here. You get to have a VIP sponsor spot in my next collaboration event when you are ready. So when you are ready, I'm actually moving into hosting a bundle shortly after this. You know what? I'm going to post something probably in the Facebook group community just to get some feedback on the name of it. I think I know where I'm going, but I would just love feedback. So look for that. I'll be hosting a bundle shortly. That's going to give you some amazing gifts from other entrepreneurs that I know. All right, let's get into day 6. The lead generation strategy, or that one asset needed that will allow you to have a pipeline filled with your right fit, perfect fit, ideal client, however you want to call her, the person that you, or him, the person that you are called to serve. So this one asset that is definitely needed so you can have your lead generation strategy set up with a pipeline of clients who are eager to work with you. I think this is one of my favorite things to talk about now that I have it down, where it's kind of almost running an autopilot for me. But I want to know, drop it in the comments. Let me know, how productive is your marketing and lead generation strategy currently? Do you have leads coming in on the scale of 1 to 10? If you're new and you don't have a lead generation strategy and you don't have leads pop in, then drop 0. That's okay. We all start from somewhere. So no judgment, no criticism. Don't feel bad, because we all start from somewhere. We all start from 0. Okay. 0. When I started my email list, I had 0. Well, I had myself. So congrats on having yourself, right? How productive is your marketing and lead generation strategy currently? Where are your leads coming? If you don't have one, that's okay, but let me know in the comments. And then, how do I find my people if I don't have a lead generation strategy currently that's working? This is the question I get from my clients so much, and I see out in the online space as well, is how do I get more clients? How do I find my people? Okay. Lead generation strategy is important, and traffic to your online business is just as important. Okay. without the people coming in who know they can trust you and know that you have the right solution for them that leads to your offer that you can make to them down the road, you're not making impact and income. So we know that bringing people into your business and lead generation is huge. How do I find my people? But I think there's a better question that we can be asking ourselves. Okay, not how do I find my people? The better question that we can be asking ourselves is, how can my people find me? Okay. And I think I may have my slides mixed up a little bit, but that's okay. How can my people find me? The best marketing allows you to be found. I think that's a mic drop. The best marketing allows you to be found. And we kind of talked about this in your lighthouse message the other day, your movement. People just find you, one, because you are out there sharing your message, you're shining bright, you're standing firm like a lighthouse. You don't have to search for people. You don't have to be like that tugboat coming in, okay? Or tugboat trying to pull the boats in. You just get to be that lighthouse and stand firm and know without a shadow of a doubt and know that you have a mandate. Remember what the mandate is. You have an official order to fulfill your calling. You know you're called to online business. You have an official order to do the thing. God gives you the authority, the clearance badge to do the thing. He gives you authority to act in such a way to do the thing. Your personality, your talents, your gifts, your knowledge, your movement you want to create, right? And then he already gives you your realm of influence, your territory. So you just get to show up and be you. But we still need to do some things, but it's more of being instead of doing. We need to be the person God's created us to be instead of constantly do, think we need to do more. Because when we step in to be that person and show up, stand firm and use our voice, then God gets to do his part too, right? So we don't have to search for our people, constantly looking for them. And more than that, the best marketing attracts your best fit client, your ideal client towards you, and repels those that don't, okay? So the best, and let me go back to this slide because I'm not quite sure what, they got a little bit mixed up, but that's okay. This is going to make sense too. So traffic and lead generation is super important. And we know we need to have an email list. We need to have TLC in our business. And I don't just mean tender loving care. I mean traffic, leads, and customers. Your customer is the oxygen to your online business. Without them, you don't have a business, right? The definition of a business is something that creates a profit. So if you're not making money and creating a profit and having income, and yes, I know we want to make impact too, but impact is a byproduct of the income you're creating and vice versa. So if you're not making income, you're not making impact. And without the traffic coming in that brings people into your realm of influence to create those potential clients that turn into paying customers who raise their hand and say, yes, I want Kimberly. Yes, I want Eva. Yes, I want Robin. Yes, I want, Kim. Yes, I want Beth to work with me. Then you don't have anyone buying your product, your service, your book, your course, right? And you're not bringing income in. That means you're not making the impact that you want to see made on this side of heaven. You're not giving more. You're not creating that kingdom wealth to create that nonprofit. You're not home to raise your kids because you're at that 9 to 5 that's draining you. You're whatever it is for you, you're not being that piece of puzzle that God needs you to be in order to do what he's called you to do with your gifts, your talents, and that business idea that he's given you. So it's very important to know that traffic is coming. We need to have traffic coming in. But it's not how can I find my people that I can help. It's more of how can my people find me? Am I showing up and being who God created me to be? Am I speaking my soul's true message? Am I standing firm like that lighthouse and shining bright and speaking that movement, letting people know what I stand for and how I can help them? If we're not doing that, they can't find us. Okay? So the best marketing is where people find you, but you still have to be out there doing something. The best marketing is polarizing sometimes. It just is. And Jesus was polarizing. I don't think that being polarizing and creating content that's polarizing is a bad thing. It makes people think. It creates thought reversals. It creates a new way of thinking. It gets people actually using that critical thinking cap that we need to be using discernment. That's so important in these end times, right? Using discernment. It's creating a new spin on how something's being said, or a unique perspective. Each and every single one of you has a unique perspective. I probably have been saying things throughout the past week, last week, and that you haven't heard in a certain way. You each and every one of you has different ways of thinking and viewing things due to your life experiences and how God created you. That unique perspective, that is important. And it's not necessarily that you're creating something new. I mean, how many of you, let me know in the comments, have you either been involved in like a 3 or 5 day challenge before, something like this, or a boot camp where you have listened to how to do XYZ, how to start your business? So you can see that the business strategies are the same. There's proven business strategies. How I do it and how I teach you is different from other people. A lot of people start with like, okay, let's extract your ideal client, who your ideal client is, and where do they shop? What do they look like? How many kids do they have? No, I start with first extracting you by God's design, because if we're not pulling in who you are into your business, you can't create a business by God's design without even first knowing who you are by God's design first. And then we can take those core values and who He's created you to be, merge them into your business, but we get to start at the end in mind. Then we figure out, okay, how it is that you can help someone. We start with the end in mind and reverse engineer back to the ideal client and merging through that transformational journey and mapping out your beta founding member program. So when you open doors and you start talking about what you're doing, you have an idea of where you're taking someone. Instead of just starting out there and say, hey, I can help you do XYZ, but you have really no idea how you help them and where you're taking them. Okay, so you may be doing something similar to someone else. I mean, I keep thinking back to homeschooling because there's a few of you who are wanting to teach other moms how to homeschool or whatnot, but each and every single one of you do it in a different way. You have a unique perspective. So that is also what you bring out in your movement as well, and why you do what you do. So it's not necessarily that we're creating something new, because there's timeless business principles. There are certain ways on how you can do XYZ, whatever that is for you, but it's that you are bold enough to talk about it from your perspective, your testimony, right? And I like to kind of call that too your movement, right? We've already talked about that. I think I hit that hammer on the nail quite a bit. It's part of what you're creating. Talked about on day 2, movement versus niching. You get to be bold to speak your unique perspective, that overarching mission, eternal return on investment that you're creating, and why. God's message to your specific ideal client through you. All right. So before we get into lead generation and the one powerful asset, I think it's important to redefine and define, and we might have talked about this already, I can't remember, but who that ideal client is, that perfect fit person, the person you're called to serve, okay? Your ideal client, the perfect person, is someone that knows they have a problem or they want a specific transformation. They're actively looking for a solution to that problem. They have the means to pay for that transformation or get that problem solved, and they know that they want you to help them. If all 4 of these aren't in place, then they're not your ideal client or the person you're called to serve yet. Let me do this again. Your ideal client is someone that knows they have a problem. They're looking for a solution to that problem. They have a means to pay for it, and they know they want you to help them. So if all 4 of them are in place, they're not your ideal client yet. If they know they have a problem, they're looking for a solution, but they don't have a means to pay for it, but they know they want you helping them, they're not your ideal client yet. Your ideal client will have all of these 4 things in place. They know they have a problem. They want it solved. They're looking for a solution, and they're willing and they have a means to pay for it. Okay. And they know you want them to help. They want you to help them. So you have a marketing strategy. We kind of briefly talked about this. Every business is different, but I like to teach marketing strategy, how not to be a slave to social media. So I should have filled my water up before I came up this today. The one marketing or lead generation asset that you need is, I used to be an accountant, so let's think of what assets are. Assets are, if it's assets on the book, it's something of value. Okay. It's something that's valuable to you. So assets are done, and they're done once and they work for you in your business, even when you sleep. It's kind of a standalone intellectual property of your business. And you have a marketing strategy. We already kind of talked briefly about this. Then you have assets that bring in your people. Wow, there's some spelling errors in here. That's okay. Done is better than perfect. I like to say 70% done is done, and 70% is perfect. If you're waiting till something's perfect to get it out there, you waited too long, because it's never going to be perfect. And you only get the feedback once you put something out there. So 70% done is perfect. And the rest of it comes by putting the feedback out there and seeing what people like, seeing what people want, and making those tweaks and changes. Okay. All righty. So, we're going to talk about, I think it's the 4 mistakes that I see people make with lead generation. So we know we need to have people coming in, and that, I thought the little one was kind of coming up, and that one asset, which, let me just say, it is a lead magnet, a high converting strategic lead magnet. We'll be talking about that in a second here. That is that one marketing asset that is needed to bring people into your email list, to have a pipeline of clients who want to work with you. There's a difference between just lead magnets that are thrown out there and a high converting strategic lead magnet. But the mistakes that I see people make with a lead generation strategy is, number 1, they're stuck in the vicious audience building cycle, which means that they are in constant creation mode. They're constantly changing launch strategies, or they're constantly chasing the next strategy. So if you feel that you're in this or in any of this mistakes, or you're in this vicious audience building cycle, let me know. I was there. We have so many things that we see so many people doing, and we're doing so many things across different platforms, or we're just working too hard and we feel like we're on this hamster wheel. I like to teach that you have your content pillars, you have that core message and movement, and that's what you talk about. That's what you talk about on repeat. Repetition is needed. 20 plus touch points are needed by your ideal client nowadays. Now, there's ways to increase that know, like, and trust factor. We kind of already talked about that on and off throughout these past couple of days, and it's through collaborations and leveraging other people's audiences. But if you're a person that constantly is changing behavior, constantly changing how you do things, constantly trying a new strategy because you didn't get the reaction that you wanted or the results that you thought that you were going to get immediately, that you wanted from other people, or you wanted from that post, or you wanted from that TikTok reel, or whatever it is, if you're someone that's constantly making changes and stuck in this vicious audience building cycle, You're never going to meet the God-given potential that was instilled in you before you were born to live a life with purpose and greatness, and to step into your calling and use entrepreneurship as that vehicle to get you that thing that you want. Okay? And remember, this all goes back to sticking to the power of one framework that we talked about last week. Stick to one strategy for 1 year, one ideal client, one offer, one strategy for 1 year. So the vicious audience building cycle is constantly creating content, which we need to create content, but we're doing it in such a way where we're all over the place. We're going over here and doing something. We're trying podcasting. We're doing YouTube. We're doing that TikTok reel because, someone just went viral. Maybe I'll try that. We're constantly changing the new strategies. Or I did that 3-day launch. Well, that didn't work. Maybe I should do a 5-1. Well, that didn't work. Well, let's try a webinar. We're in this vicious audience building cycle of trying to attract our people. That's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2, and let me know if these resonate with you, is not focusing on your one person you're called to serve. The one ideal client. We make the mistake of speaking too generally, too broadly. Even in your head, if you know who your person is without a shadow of a doubt, we're still talking too broadly. We need to get specific. Specific enough that your person says, she gets me. Specific enough where she says, is she in my head or is she peeking through my window? Especially for that weight loss, that person, that postpartum mom, let's say, if you're creating content that's, the baby's taking a nap and you finally were able to hop in the shower. You got a full night's sleep. You feel like a brand new woman and you can't wait to put those jeans on when you get out of the shower to see how they fit. And you're struggling. You can hardly get them above your knees and you're just jumping up and down. Try not to wake up the baby trying to get them on. And you feel defeated. So that's me. How many of us are trying to jump up and down or try to lay in the bed, suck it in and try to pull that zipper up, right? But if you're talking about it in such a way of things, experiences, stuff you've gone through, speaking to their subconscious as well of, gosh, it feels so amazing to get a full night's sleep. I feel like a brand new woman. And I take a shower. I want to put some clothes on and put my makeup on, but then, that draining feeling because you're hopping around trying to get your jeans to fit and you're frustrated because you can't lose that post baby weight, right? That's speaking to that person. We need to speak so much into who they are, what they want, that she's like, yeah, that's me. And was she peeking through my window? So we need to be specific. That gets them to stop in their tracks and say, yep, that's me. So get so specific that it's at what time, 1:30 in the afternoon on a Monday. This is what she's thinking. This is what she's feeling. This is what she's experiencing, right? And storytelling allows you to do that as well and puts them in your shoes. Even though the experience might not be exactly the same, they're remembering a time where they went through something like that, or they're seeing themselves in your story. And remember that one person is looking for you to be that expert. So mistake number 2, not focusing on the one person you're called to serve. And that expert, what do you do when you're looking for someone to solve the problem you have, right? If you need to have heart surgery, are you looking for a good heart surgeon in your area? Or do you look for a general surgeon? No, you're looking for that specific person to solve that specific problem. You look up reviews. You ask for referrals, right? You are the expert. You are the expert. You're the expert in what God is calling you to do. Someone needs to hear that today, that you are the expert in what God is calling you to do. Even if you don't have absolute clarity on what that is yet and who you're going to help, you are the expert. You have the expertise. You just may not have the authority yet, the influence yet, the know, like, and trust of your person yet. And that's okay. I get to show you how to exponentially get that authority, get that influence, get that know, like, and trust faster than utilizing normal growth strategies. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. What you do, what you know, is you have the expertise, okay? What do you do when you look for an expert, right? You're looking for that specific person. And it's the same thing with your best perfect fit client. They get to, and they need to perceive you as the expert when you show them that not only that you know your subject matter, but you also know them and speaking to that one person you're called to serve. Okay. So mistake number 2 is not focusing on that one person. So when you're not speaking to what they're thinking, what they're desiring, what problem they want solved, if you're speaking in too broad of terms and not speaking specifically to the real-time experience, they're just like, okay, and move on. And I'm like, I've already heard that. But, or that's just kind of same old, but you're not same old. You have unique gifts and talents, and you're wonderfully made and created to share this gift inside of you. Okay. You have everything that you need, and God's already equipped you. The blueprint is already inside of you to be equipped for this calling and to step into entrepreneurship. How has your past experiences prepared you for being the expert your person needs? Think about that. No matter what the enemy meant for evil, God is going to use your testimony as a gift to help your person. No matter if you're a helper or a hero. We talked about that the other day. A helper is that you've never had the problem yourself, but you have a gift, a talent, an expertise, a hobby that you love that you can teach to others who are looking. They have this problem and they're looking for someone to help them. Or a hero where you've had the problem, you've overcame it, and you still kind of have a testimony of what the Lord's done in your life. Both of you have a testimony of whether you're a helper or a hero, right? And your past experiences are preparing you for what your person needs. And I want you to spend some time with the Lord today and ask Him and think about how your past experience has equipped you to be the expert now, to be that specialist. And then what makes you unique? And if you already know some things, drop it in the comments. I'd love to read through them. I want you to think of Joseph. His brothers sold him into slavery. I mean, everything that could possibly went wrong, right? He was sold into slavery. Everything that he went through was preparing him to be king, to deliver his family someday as well, right? David, think about David and Goliath. David was a shepherd. He was a shepherd, but he knew how to defend the sheep and kill the wolves that were going to attack with a slingshot. It only took him one stone to kill those wolves. He perfected that. That was his gift, his area of expertise. If he didn't know how to do that, he wouldn't have been able to protect his sheep. God is preparing him. His past, his life experiences, his knowledge of being a shepherd, protecting the sheep, prepared him to fight and kill Goliath with one stone. Same is with you, my friend. Same with you. Mistake number 3. There's no nurture or follow-up plan. So you're getting people in, but there's no nurture or follow-up plan with the people that you're getting in. Mistake number 3. I need more leads. I hear that a lot. Okay, great. I need more people. I want clients. Great. What are you going to do with them once you get them? And how are you going to nurture them and help them through that customer journey to move closer to your paid offer? So do you really need more leads, or do you just get to a need to nurture them better? Well, we need both, but when they come in, you have to have a way and a plan to nurture them. Actually, you need 3 things. This is where we're going to talk about the third one. The 4th mistake, though, is not having a lead generation plan. So out of those mistakes, where are you fitting in? What mistakes? Think about that. Or you're not making it. Maybe you're mistakes or struggles, or maybe you're new and you don't have anything. That's okay. Remember, we all start from somewhere. So not having a lead generation plan, which leads me into you're needing these three things: the lead generation, nurture, and sales. This is the customer life cycle. I call it the 3-point customer life cycle. If you have a current email list, where are your audience coming from? Where are your leads coming from? Or you're like, okay, I know I need an email list. Where are you going to start to find those leads, right? And do it in an efficient way that allows you not to get burnt out, not being a slave to social media. We'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. But you need all of these strategies, the lead generation and nurturing them, and then moving into the sales cycle. You can't have one without the other, okay? You just can't, because it's going to be a struggle. And these were the three things that I really wish I would have known in the beginning stages of my business here. Lead generation, nurture, and sales, the 3-point customer life cycle, which unfolds like this. You need new people coming into your world through lead gen. You give them value and you actually help them, nurture. And then you move on to sell them into sales. So think of how you found me, whether it was a bundle, a summit. I did run Facebook ads this time because I wanted to test that out and just see what would happen. Because with the amount, well, I should say, let me backtrack with that. I wanted to see what would happen because there is a mastermind that I'm in that they said Facebook leads are really low right now, and to try it out. And I wanted to try it out so I could compare it to how I grow my email list through collaboration strategies. So far, I'm not sold on leads. I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm not sold on Facebook ads. And I don't think when you're in the beginning stages of your business, you should be doing Facebook ads because you don't know with absolute clarity the messaging, who your ideal client is, and with absolute clarity how you're going to help them. That's why I like to focus on collaboration strategies, because after now almost 3.5, 4 years of doing this, it is the only strategy that I have seen work. And I can say that without a shadow of a doubt now that I have tested and tried Facebook ads. That works fast. Okay, so think about what I'm doing here. You came into my realm of influence. There's lead generation. I'm merging you into nurturing you on my email list, nurturing you with this 2-week event. Nurture looks like anything. Nurturing you with podcast episodes I send out, nurturing you with, maybe some bundles that I participate in that you can go and grab some resources that will help you in your business, help you with your faith, help you with your life, help you with just being a mom in general or a woman, right? Help you with maybe a virtual or summit that I'm in and a speaker of, where you get to go and now listen to and participate and listen to other amazing speakers that have different gifts that talk about different things, right? So there's so many ways to nurture people on your email list, right? So I merge you into nurture content, and then throughout the nurturing content for these 2 weeks, I merged into sales, opening doors to my founding member group coaching program. So it's the same strategy that I teach to my clients as well. So you bring them in, you give them valuable content, and then you lead into the customer journey part of selling. Okay. And you do this on repeat. You do it on repeat. You tweak what didn't work. You make changes. You do the thing again. Okay. If we're missing any part of this cycle or skipping one, then we're not making the impact and income that we want. If we have skipped anything, we're not attracting more people to our email list. So actually, let me start this way. If we don't have a lead generation strategy and we're not bringing people in, but we're just nurturing and maybe selling to the people that we do have, or just those that are in our community or online, but we're not bringing more people in, there's going to be a point where they're not buying anymore. We've tapped that out. We've just tapped it out, right? Then if you're bringing people in and you're just selling, but you're skipping the nurture phase, then there's going to be a disconnect because they don't know, like, and trust you yet, right? And then if we're bringing people in and we're just, what did I say? That we're just nurturing. Oh, we skipped to selling. But if we're bringing people in and we're just nurturing them, that's all we're doing. Well, we're probably loving the socks off them, right? Where they feel so loved, but they're not getting their needs really met and getting their problems solved. So we're bringing people in and all we're doing is nurturing them. We're not making an offer. Well, they're not getting their problem solved and they're not getting the transformation that they want. And then they're just going to go elsewhere, right? So each of these cycles need to be working at all times in your business. It's so important. And this is what you get with the Visibility for Impact Club, but you get this free or not free, but you get it for 6 months in the Online Business by God's Design roadmap, right? Or when you join with those bonuses, you got it for a year. But this is all incorporated into the Online Business by God's Design roadmap. But this lead generation strategy is specific, those collaborations, to the Visibility for Impact Club. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. So to recap, the 4 mistakes I've seen made are in building your business, or building the lead generation, getting people in, is the vicious audience building cycle, creating content after content, and if you already dropped in the comments, you can drop it again, but which one, where are you at? Where are you struggling? Or is it all 4 of them, right? Not speaking to and focusing on that one person, not speaking to and oh my goodness, sorry, no plan. This number 3, I think, was supposed to be, this, I'm gonna have to go back and edit this, which is okay, no worries. Let me go back to what number 3 was. No nurture or follow-up plan. And then number 4 is no strategic lead generation plan. Okay, where are you? Or is it all 4 of them? Which is okay. All right. So filling your pipeline with ready to buy clients begins with this one asset. And I already told you what it was. It is a high converting strategic lead magnet or freebie. This lead magnet is one that's highly valuable. And do you guys have one? Have you guys created one at all? Or that's your homework after we go through this, is what do you think would be highly valuable that your person would want to opt into? Okay. But do you have one? Let me know, yes or no. And I want you to also say, how many do you think you need? How many do you think you need? How many? 1. Remember the power of 1 framework. I like to keep things simple, right? Simple is better. It's less overwhelming for you, less overwhelming for your ideal client. And this was, I think, last Thursday, we talked about the power of 1 framework. If you're ever questioning what to do, err on the side of simplicity. Can you have more than 1 lead magnet? Sure. Yeah, you can. But when you're first getting started, you want to keep things simple. And if you have more than 1 lead magnet that's taking them more than 1 places, it gets confusing. And a confused mind says no, right? So it's better just to have 1 powerful, high converting, strategic lead magnet than 5 of them, right? The enemy wants to keep you confused, overwhelmed, questioning your calling, to keep you thinking that you need to constantly be working, constantly be creating, constantly be doing something. And when you're constantly doing that, then you're not building your business, you're not selling, you're not making impact or income, and you get overwhelmed, burn out, and eventually quit, which is what he wants you to do. That's why the Power of 1 framework is powerful and simple. Okay? So before we get into what makes them strategic and high converting, let's talk about a few examples. So there's private podcasts, there's ebooks, there's case studies, mini courses, multi-day events. Like this was a lead magnet as well. For those of you who are new to my world, this 2-week live coaching was a lead magnet, right? And for those of you already on my email list, it was part of nurturing. See how it can be a lot of things here? Trainings, virtual event recordings. Maybe you were in a summit. You can use or maybe you hosted a summit. You could use those interviews as a opt-in to get on your email list after post-event. Planner, journals. They can be anything. Okay. Tomorrow we're going to talk about the launch runway framework and how the lead magnets fit into that and why high converting strategic lead magnets are important. But tomorrow we're going to talk more about and exclusively including one with collaboration strategies. But what makes a high converting lead magnet high converting and strategic? Another way to think about it is what would make your person you're called to serve, that best fit person, click the link, download, and consume your lead magnet? What would make them do that? Every time it's put in front of your ideal client, they click it, they download it, and they consume it. It's just not sitting in their email box. So think, what would make someone always constantly opting into it and actually taking action and doing something so that you can have a pipeline of leads on your email list, and you're constantly building your email list with people that want what you have to offer. All right. So you have a gift dropping in the Facebook group. It is the ultimate guide to creating your lead magnet, and it has 5 characteristics of a great lead magnet. It also has in there catchy headlines and formulas on how to create them as well. That's in the guide section after this training. Once again, if you remember from when I first opened up and we started talking about the Call to Business Live event, the first couple of days, and maybe it was even in the email too, my goal is really to give you step-by-step of everything you need to do and have clarity on the assets that you need so you could walk away and actually do this thing on your own. However, it's going to take longer when you do it on your own. But you have the strategies, you have what you need to implement in order to do that, right? And you're more than welcome to do that. I hope you don't do that. I hope you join the roadmap and allow me to walk hand in hand with you to help you, because that just moves you faster. When you're questioning yourself, when you come into stumbling blocks, then you have someone that can help you get through that. But you have a gift over there and you can use that to create your lead magnet. So what makes it high converting and strategic? It calls out your ideal client only. It only specifically speaks to them. Who is this for? It speaks directly to the one problem your ideal client is experiencing now. Not all of them, just one that they're experiencing now. So if you think of your how you help someone from A to Z, or that transformational journey where you had the caterpillar and the butterfly from the other day, they're at the caterpillar. What is that first thing that they would need to know, believe, do, get a small, quick win on in order to take that next step of transformation? Or if you think of your business from A to Z, A is where they are in pain. Z is the transformation. They're happy they've worked with you. What is the A to C or the A to D that they could, snatch from you and get a small, quick win that leads them to the next step of working with you? Okay, think about that when you're creating a lead magnet, and call out who it's for and the one problem they're experiencing now. So for example, I said you have that guide to creating a lead magnet that converts. Everyone in the business realm could probably have something like this, a guide to creating a lead magnet that converts. How do you know that's for you? How do you know you even want to be on that person's email list? Well, I put in there specifically for Christian women in online business. Aha, that's for me. If someone's not a Christian woman in online business, they're probably not going to opt into it. So that's an example of what I mean of calling out who it's for. And it's speaking to one problem. Yeah, I don't have a lead magnet, or mine's not doing very well. I want one that converts. So it's solving that problem. Okay? One problem. They want to build their email list, or they want to build their online business, or maybe they want to build their email list. Same thing. They know that they need an email list in their online business to start making impact and income. That problem is, how do I do that? Or how do I create a lead magnet that does that? So it solves one problem, that A to the D at the beginning, right? But the major problem that transformation that they want is to launch their business and be successful. But we broke it down into steps they need to take. And I use this guide to creating a lead magnet that converts for Christian women as a way of getting people onto my email list so I can nurture them and get them into my program. So hopefully that's making sense in how this all works. It also needs to solve that one problem. So it speaks directly to the problem, but it has to solve that one problem and give them a quick win or give them a transformation. Okay. Another way to think about it is, what belief does your potential customer need to believe in order to take the next step with you? Or what is that one problem that needs to be solved before they decide to take the next step with you? Right? I kind of already talked about that in that last example I gave you. We're not solving everything. There's an overall big problem, like you want to create, build, and launch your online business, right? We're not solving that whole problem in that lead magnet, right? That's overwhelming and it causes confusion. So if you think from A to Z, A, the pain, Z is the pleasure. After working with you, they saw that transformation. Your lead magnet is just those first couple steps. Okay. The lead gift, the lead magnet guide, has a great example that I go through with a gardening example that you can walk through and read. And then it leads your ideal client through the customer journey to your offer. It's that first logical step on the journey that creates demand for your offer, and it creates demand for that what's next thing. Okay? This is important. That's why we start with the end in mind that I mentioned, 20 minutes ago. We start with the end in mind. Okay? What's your offer? Then who is the person you're called to serve? And what is that one problem that you're solving for that one person with your lead magnet? And that's where we start in the Online Business by God's Design as well. We don't start creating your lead magnet first like some programs do. And that's what I was taught to do, because then you're putting it out there and you're attracting those that may not want what you have to offer. We first need to know what problem you solve for your ideal client, and then what your offer looks like. So if you don't know where you're taking the person you're called to serve, you're not going to be able to create a lead magnet that's high converting and strategic. That's what the strategic means, is that you know where you're taking them, and the lead magnet is strategically placed on that customer journey to pick them up where you want to pick them up and take them where you want them to go. Okay? So if you don't know that, you're not going to be able to lead them to your offer. It's tangible, and it's something they can take action on and implement. So they have a changed belief, or they think, yeah, I can solve this problem, XYZ. I can do this thing. I can get the results that I want. And you call out the results in how you title your lead magnet, this powerful asset as well. It has high perceived value. You need to anchor your value and quality in with this lead magnet to make you stand out and over deliver in a way that doesn't cause overwhelm. Okay, I'm going to give you an example here in a second. And it could be even something that others would charge for. Okay, so how can you over deliver without causing overwhelm? This is just an example. It's going to look different for each and every single one of you. You don't want to give away. Okay, so how would I start this? It anchors in your value and quality so that they think, oh man, this was free. I can't imagine what our paid stuff looks like, right? So these 2 weeks together is anchoring in my value and what I provide and the quality and how I show up and do things. I'm over delivering. However, I'm not causing overwhelm. I mean, you may feel a little bit overwhelmed, and that's where the mindset coach comes out in me, where when you feel that overwhelm, a lot of the times it's because you're stepping into doing something new, and your brain setting off an emotion of like, oh, I don't know how to do this. Am I going to be able to do this? And there's so much stuff. And then you're like, I feel overwhelmed, but it's overwhelmed because you gave it the definition of feeling overwhelmed when it's just something new. And on the other side of that overwhelm is clarity and understanding. And you know how to do the thing. It's just pushing outside of the comfort zone. But when you have too much knowledge in or information in your lead magnet, we don't want to overwhelm the person and confuse them. So one way to think about it is, you don't want to give away the entire kitchen if they're thirsty. You just want to give them the sink and then offer them a glass for the water. Does that make sense? So your ideal client's thirsty. Could you give them the whole kitchen? Here. Oh, I know you're thirsty, but here you can make some food. Here's a pan. And here's an egg too, right? They're like, wait, I'm just thirsty. here's the sink, and here's a glass for your water, right? See the difference? So think of how you can add more value with a surprise bonus or something that handles an objection or changes a belief. And then always have a call to action. This is the one thing that I see most people missing. A call to action in your lead magnet, a call to action in that email follow-up, a call to action in that email that they open up to get your lead magnet. Whether it's book a call, grab a mini offer, join your membership, join your community, follow you on Instagram. Most people miss this. Always have a call to action and include it in the email as well, at least that next step. And sometimes I see too is people making too many calls to action. Once again, back to the power of one. One, simplicity. See a common theme here? And don't worry if they don't take action. You're just planting the seed of what's next. Okay? Remember, you're nurturing them. It takes them 20 plus touch points sometimes, and you're bringing them along the customer journey. And you're not going to worry if they don't take that next step because you are being intentional with nurturing, which is part of the 3-point customer life cycle, right? Lead gen, nurturing, moving to the sale. You have a nurture sequence set up, especially if you're working with us inside the roadmap, right? So you don't have to worry if they don't take that next step right then and there. They will eventually. Another gift that you have is that you want to make your strategic lead magnets eye-catching and pleasing to look at. Like, here's my business meetings with the Heavenly Board of Directors one. I mean, it's pretty. I love flowers. Peonies those are probably roses, but peonies are my favorite flower. So you're going to see them a lot in my stuff. It's just merging in more of me, and people get to see me in certain things, but they're eye-catching. They're like, ooh, they're not stuff I've seen out there before. So they're going to make you stop the scroll if you utilize social media, or if you're in a bundle with other people, they're going to stop like, that's pretty. And they're going to read it. And then they're going to click it and get on your email list. So that you have a gift in another gift. So 2 gifts today, mock-up images and Canva templates to help you create your mock-up image for your lead magnet. You can plug it in and without trying to overthink things too much or worry that you're not techie enough to do the thing. So here's a gift for you. All right. So establishing you as an expert, and we are about done. This one's a little bit longer today. So how do these lead magnets establish you as an expert? So inside the lead magnet, my nose is itching, done correctly, it's going to solidify you as the expert and as the authority, as the person who will help them move the needle, who will help them get closer to solving that one problem. You show them how to solve a small problem. You give them different perspectives, your framework, something that changes a belief or overcomes an objection. You show them that there's a different way, a different approach to solve the problem, and you do that inside the lead magnet. Also, you get to solve their problem and show them that in order to solve it, it's going to require them to think differently as they come into your world. Once again, changing a belief or a thought process. So an example, you may have came in here today thinking more lead magnets are going to be better to attract more of your people. And I've told you and explained to you that that's not the case, that less is better, and I'm explaining why. So your lead magnet is going to solve their problem and show them that in order for them to solve it, they need to think differently. They need to do something differently. They need to change a thought process or a belief. The one asset that will bring in a pipeline of the right people that want what you have to offer is the one high converting strategic lead magnet. So some next questions you might have. We went into what does it need to have? I gave you some examples of what some are, ebooks, trainings, mini courses. Some questions you may have right now, I know I did, was what do I need in order to start creating this and building my email? And how do I find my people and not be a slave to social media? Or how can they find me so I don't have to be a slave to social media? And those are great questions. What you need to have is clarity on the one person you're called to serve, clarity on the one problem that you can help them solve, and clarity on how you get them that one transformation, which is your offer. Okay. If you don't have clarity on that, you can't create a lead magnet yet. If you don't have clarity on those, come join us inside the roadmap. We'll get you clarity. And you also need an email service provider that automates the email process. So inside the Online Business by God's Design, I teach you from the start on how to use one and use the one I'm using so tech doesn't hold you back. You need a powerful email nurture sequence that helps you nurture them, moves them into the nurture phase of that 3-point customer lifestyle cycle, and gets you clarity on your sales and launch process. So these are the things that you need to have in order to know that you're creating a high converting strategic lead magnet that leads people to your offer. Hoping this makes sense. Is it making sense? Drop a yes in there. So where to find your people so that you aren't posting and praying, aren't being a slave to social media, aren't stuck in that vicious audience building cycle we talked about, aren't getting burned out, questioning your calling, so that you're not afraid to launch. And you may launch to a small number at first. That's okay. But we want you to be in your power and in the power of the Holy Spirit and launch from a place of empowerment because you know who you serve and where you're taking them, so that you can build your email list fast without being a slave to social media. So you can build it with the right people. So where do you find your people so that you aren't doing all these things so that you can do those things? Okay. Great question. And that's what I get to teach you and help you with as well. And that's what sets me apart in the Online Business by God's Design roadmap. And that's what we're going to be covering tomorrow with the Launch Runway Framework. Okay, so you like how I set you up with that? You're like, wait, what is it? Tomorrow we'll be covering that. Where to find your people so you're not posting and praying and not being a slave to social media and not stuck in that vicious audience building cycle. All right, so your homework today is there'll be a thread in the group, if not already, to comment with your lead magnet idea, your strategic high converting lead magnet. Remember, you need to know who you serve and how you serve them and how you're going to help them. And if you don't have absolute clarity, it's okay. Just drop an idea in there. Okay. I want you to take action and do the thing. Remember, all homework is due by 6 p.m. this week, Thursday. And then a quick reminder, the gifts are in the guide section. Replays will be available through this Saturday. I already mentioned about the homework, and I think I have a don't forget slide. Yeah, don't forget, if you have questions, if you are wondering if this roadmap is for you, you want to join the April cohort to get that special investment, please reach out. The link to join is in the comments here. And well, maybe not in the comments, but in the post that I made before I hopped on live. Go check it out. There'll be a little bubble head. You can send me a message, email me, DM me, whatever you need to do to get your questions answered, because I would hate for you to miss out on the special investment, because doors close to the Online Business by God's Design roadmap Saturday at, I don't know what time I put. I want to say I did midnight Eastern Standard Time. I'll be sleeping by then, and some of you probably will as well. But I set it late because I know Mountain Standard Time, every time there's different in time zones. So just take that step of faith. That's all I have to say. If the Holy Spirit is prompting you and like feels good, do it. If not, that's okay. It may not be your time, but I would hate for you to miss out on that special investment, because doors are closing, and when I open them back up, it will be increased. And I don't say that from a place of scarcity. I say that because that's what I'm going to do. It just is. Because it'll be created next time I open it back up. Remember, the special investment is you're going week by week by week with me, and I'm working with you week by week in creating the program, taking what I've done in my membership and putting it into the group coaching program. All right, let me get back over here. And that is it for today. I will be popping in the comments, reading them all, answering questions. So drop them in there. And if for those of you watching the replay, if you're not on Facebook and social media, email me any questions that you have. All right. Have an amazing, blessed Monday.